Hello, hello, hello. So I have a cup that needs to be made for a customer. He wants wood grain and a saying on it. I'm gonna try my best to not show you guys the saying because it's not child appropriate, and just in case some kiddos get on here to watch, I don't want them seeing it. So I have a spray painted 30-ounce cup that is taped off from the top and the bottom, and I'll take that out. I have a sponge brush, just a 1-inch probably sponge brush, alcohol ink and caramel. It's Tim Holtz caramel, and ginger. So this is what I'm going to use on the alcohol or on the cup. I'm going to do caramel first as a first layer, and then I'm going to put the decal on, and then I'm going to do ginger over top of the decal and on the rest of the cup. And then the decal is in white, so you'll see how it turns out. It turns out really cool. Okay, so just gonna jump right in. Yeah, do caramel first. No, Zeus. Zeus, no. I don't typically like to go live because I have animals and children that don't like me doing anything but paying attention to them. Well, mostly the animals. Okay, so with the ginger, no, I'm sorry, with the caramel, I'm gonna start at the top of the cup, and I'm just gonna do a line straight down. I try not to get to the line right there on the cup because the alcohol ink kind of like spreads in the line, if that makes sense, and I don't like how that looks. So I'm gonna try to do this so you guys can see. So I got one line. Try not to let it lead like that, and just, this is all it is. And then you'll notice sometimes it'll look like this right here. That's not wood grainy. This is wood grainy, so you just go over it before it dries. For the next spot, you're gonna go right up next to what you just did. Take your brush. And just go like this in one continuous line until the alcohol ink dries. So that's what we got so far. And a lot of times I'll keep the brush in my mouth. I know I'm weird, but it just makes it a little bit easier for me. I am going to attempt to do knots. So this, my friends, is all it is. And you can see it's already starting to get that wood grain look to it. So, wood grain is super easy. I'm not the best at knots yet, like the knots in the wood, but I am going to attempt one or two. We'll see. So you see how that one, I don't know if you can see very well, but that one, the last one that I just did is still kind of like matted. It doesn't look wood grainy like that one does. And since this is the first layer, that's okay. If it dries before you can get it to be like the wood grain look, since you're doing a second coat, well, we're already almost to the end of the cup. So just keep swiping it until it's dried. You could also use, you don't have to use one of these sponge brushes. You could use like a stencil brush, or I even tried this kind of a brush. It was just a cheap one from the dollar store, but I personally did not like the effect that it gave. Alright, so you see that's a little messed up right there too, and that's okay. Wood is not perfect in how it looks. So, my first layer is done. So I'm going to let that sit for just a second and let it dry. And while I'm doing that, I guess I'm just going to make sure that my decal is ready. And I cut my decal, I weeded it, I put some transfer tape on the top, and now I'm just using my thing to flatten it and make sure it sticks to the transfer tape. Oh, I don't want you guys to see it because I know this might be kind of a hard one to not show you guys. The decal. It's got some naughty words on it. And I know my kids are YouTube fanatics, and sometimes they come across adult created videos. Not X-rated, but you know what I mean. And I would appreciate it as a parent if it were me, if they were, you know, didn't see something. So, okay, sorry, it's hot in here. Probably help if I put my mop of a hair up. Okay, so this is dry for the most part. You can put a layer of sealant on it, but I don't, because I'm going to do a second coat of the alcohol ink. So I'm just going to put this on real quick, and these are blank tumblers, so I think I'm going to put it right here because that's like the best looking spot I've got. And I use Cricut. I don't use silhouettes. I really want a silhouette, but Cricut is just a little bit more affordable. And I am in nursing school, and I've got 4 kiddos. So Cricut it is. And Cricut is just fine. I love my Cricut. My friend has Silhouette, so I've gotten on her software at her house, and it is a little bit harder to learn the software. Like, I was confused just doing it for the hour or 2 that I did it. But their store, the Silhouette store, has so much more. Okay guys, I got my decal on. And it's important, if you're going to put a decal on, it's important to wait until the alcohol ink dries. You don't want the transfer tape pulling up the alcohol ink that you just did. Okay, so I'm going to cover up the naughty words, and I'm going to show you. See? So now I'm going to take the ginger, and I'm going to do it over top of the decal and on top of the rest of the cup. So, let's do that real quick. This is going to be a quick video. I have to go to the dentist today, and I haven't been to the dentist in years because we didn't have, you know, good insurance. So, now we do, and I'm scared to death. I'm scared to death. My anxiety is through the roof right now. So I was like, you know what? I need to jump on and I need to do a video to distract my brain because it's not happy right now. Okay, so just like with the first coat of alcohol ink, I'm just gonna do it right over top of the decal. And this one's not, I'm gonna go this way, much darker than the, oh wait, that just, maybe because I didn't use enough the first time. So it just kind of gives it, with having the caramel color underneath, just kind of gives it that little extra layer, if that makes any sense. So I'm just doing the same thing. Up, down, up, down, up, down. When I first started doing alcohol inks, I was watching tutorials and stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh, they use a lot of ink. They must buy, you know, a lot of alcohol inks if they do wood grain cups frequently. Well, I bought this. This is still, I've done probably, I don't know how many cups. I'd say at least 4, probably, with this ginger color. And I still have half the tube. So they last. I've even tried making my own alcohol inks. They didn't work out very well. I'll just stick to making the cups. So still just going back and forth, back and forth. And now I'm over the decal, so I'm kind of trying to hit the decal so that you can still read it. And you'll see what I mean here in just a second. Okay. I'm going to wait for that to dry just a second because I want to show you on the decal part, but I don't want you to read the words just in case. Okay, so see how the white decal made it kind of, and then when you do the darker on top, it gave it kind of like the what's the word? What am I, like when you carve in a tree kind of? That's kind of what it reminds me of. See how cool that looks? I love that look, and so did he when he saw it on one of the other cups I did. So now let's try a knot. I can't guarantee how well this knot is going to turn out, but let's try it. Okay, so what I do is I'm just going to probably plot one right there. So I'll just do a little dot of the alcohol ink. Let it sit there for a minute. Try not to let it run. And then kind of go like that. And then if that doesn't look good, then I'll go like this and kind of rub. See, now I think that looks like poo. It doesn't really look like a, you know what, maybe I'll try this. Putting the alcohol ink just on my brush. There, that looks like a little bit better. Maybe. I did a really good one the other day and now I can't remember how I did it. So just rub. No, that looks like crap. Alright, we're gonna redo that one. So to redo it, just do your line of the alcohol ink again. Might have to do it a couple times, that's fine. Actually, I think that looks cooler than a knot. I think that looks cooler than a knot. I might leave that like that. What, baby? Oh, but you're not dressed. You have to get dressed first. See that? That looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh shoot, I just showed you the decal, didn't I? Dang it.
What?
Hopefully I showed it quick enough you guys can see it. Ooh. No damage. Okay. Whew. Okay. So I am going to now take this and go, you know what? Maybe we'll try a knot. No, I'm not gonna do a knot. I don't want to ruin it. I like the way what I just did. I like how that looks with the wood look like that right there. So I'm just gonna leave it like that. So this is a wood grain cup. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go seal it with some sealer. Any sealer you got will work. Just make sure to very lightly apply the sealer. I've noticed if I do it too heavy sometimes, it'll like speckle my cup and it'll make the alcohol ink run a little bit. Don't want that. So yeah, just do it very lightly. Do it about 6 to 12 inches away from the cup, just so you know that you're covering the cup just barely enough, so when you put the epoxy on it, it doesn't cause any issues. So then I'll do the sealer and then I'll put the epoxy on. I'll do 2 layers and the cup will be good to go. Thanks for hopping on. Make sure to like the video if you liked it and subscribe to my channel, and I would appreciate it. I love all you guys. Thanks for watching. How do I turn this off now? First time going live on YouTube. Don't mind me. Okay, I think I might have got it. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.